Hey guys and girls, my name's Dan, welcome back to Forge. In this episode of Trust Me, I'm a blacksmith. I'll turn this piece of bar into a pair of tongs like this. About a fortnight ago, me and Alex made a video where we tried to smith and strike and chisel cut a pair of tongs out of a single piece of flat bar. It didn't work very well. I wasn't very impressed with the outcomes. And I didn't have much hope for today, but we made a reasonably nice pair of tongs today, and hopefully you'll enjoy watching the video of me making these. I cut them with the angle grinder just because of a comment I got in the last video saying, oh, it'd probably be easy with an angle grinder, and I thought, well, most of you guys at home have got angle grinders, most of you guys at home have got drills, so I drilled and angle grinded most of these tongs to give you these. So enjoy the video and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I've got myself a piece of 30 by 10 or inch and 3/4 by 3/8. It's 450mm long, which is about 18 inches long, just under, I think. And then what I've done is I've marked it up to do the cut reins. So, but this time, instead of having the cut run quite the length of the reins, I'm going to go a third up diagonally here. Don't know if you can see that very well. A third across and then a third down. So that should give me some nice fat hinge plate things going on there. And I should be able to forge them into something that looks quite respectable, hopefully, fingers crossed. I've then got 40mm at the end here, and this bit here is a cube, so that's 30. Okay, there you have it. They are almost exactly the same. They're not perfect, but you're never going to get it perfect doing it, swinging an angle grinder around like that. I've cut them off there, and I've just cut the really sharp bits off the end because I didn't think that was a good idea, putting the really sharp bits in the fire. But we've basically got ourselves a pair of tongs, technically. So let's get on with forging this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tong these up. And I'm just going to start forging the reins out, get them looking a bit nicer and rounder. Okay, so I want to be quite careful because this stuff's quite thin at the minute. I'm just going to use the round side of my hammer. And draw in. To the back of the reins like so. Oh, that looks pretty good, that. Just going to then tidy this up a bit. As I come back to this piece here, this slightly arched bit, I want this nice and curved if I can get it. So just come in with the round part of my hammer again. You could even use the bit. If you have a bit. These nibs, these reins are going to be a little bit thin for my liking, but they're going to work for this material. So I'm just going to take the corners off at the top here. Now I'm also going to take the corners off of the reins as well. Again, using the round side of that hammer. Oh. Not the easiest things in the world to hold. but coming together. So the one thing on these that I think probably do with quite a lot of modification are these nibs. Not the nibs, the ends of the reins, sorry. They do come to a very odd point. But considering this is our third heat, dressing up in this cold temperature now, planishing out some of these hammer marks. That's perfectly reasonable. I am just going to get the length and a bit more even up here, but I'm going to leave it at that. That's about 3 heats, so it's pretty good going. Okay, so I've got the second one here, and I'm just going to do exactly the same thing as I did last time, except this time I'm just going to speed the whole process up, so you'll see it's all in one quick succession. Okay, so here you have one half of the tongs here. They've come out really well actually this time. I don't know what this hinge plate area is going to look like. I think it's going to be interesting to say the least. But basically what I've done, quenched it off, can hold it in my hand now, and I am going to make some flat bits. I didn't think I was going to, but I don't really like doing flat bits, but I think that a lot of you guys at home are going to want flat bits to start with, and the speed at which this happened is really good. So let's make some flat bits. Okay, set downs. I've got to find this this 40. Now, like I said, I wasn't going to do the nib before, but I am this time. So bring your work to about 45 degrees. This is going to put, and you want to be hitting half on, half off the anvil over your centre dot mark. It'll give you a little mark like this. Unfortunately I lost all the heat now. I'm going to put that back in the fire. Okay, so again, like I said before, hold that at about 45 over the corner of an anvil, nice smooth corner, and then as you're forging it, lift up, bring it round. You turn it this side now. If you see my other videos, this is the compression. Where the top and bottom of your material moves, but not the centre. Okay, back in the fire. Okay, so nice hot heat for this one. Try and get that material to flatten out. Now I'm going to come to the opposite side of the anvil, about 45, yeah, about 45, I'm winging this a bit. Okay, need to do a bit of filing on that. It should be okay, I think. So these have come out quite narrow. Try and widen them up a bit if I can. So to widen them up, basically what I've done is I've tapered both sides. And I'm going to just strike it in the middle. And to be honest with you, they're not going to be the most amazing pair of tongs in the world. They are going to work. And that's what we're here for. Okay, just a bit of a low temperature here. Oh, a bit of slag on there. I'm just going to forge that scale, slag in. Just press these into shape. Now, the hinge plates on these are lovely white. Which is great, but the nibs are quite narrow and the actual hinge itself is quite narrow. But I think as a beginner's tong, if this is your very first pair of tongs, I don't think it's going to hurt at all. Right, I'm going to leave that one like that and I'm going to do the other one. Not the most elegant looking of tongs, but they do look pretty good when they're together. They look like a set of pliers almost, which I quite like. And to be honest with you, for the time it's taken me to do these, it's relatively quick. So must with the video in and all the messing around and stuff, it's probably taken about an hour. But if you had everything ready with you, oh sorry, an hour and a half, but if you have everything, like if you had all your material and everything ready, you could end up with a reasonably nice pair of tongs, like so. I've done a bit of grinding on these. Like I said, I'm rushing. I'm not trying to get these perfect, and I drilled the hole. I drilled it to 10mm, and I also have some 10mm rivet stock, which I'm going to stick in there now. And basically, I'm going to set these up, and we're almost done. So I'm going to fit this this rivet first. One in that side. Turn this over. Place that down like this, and then I'm just going to hammer it through. I want it to be about equidistant from each side. Oh, too much. Now I only need a little bit of heat in this to start with because I'm just going to levitate it above the anvil. Oh no, I'm not. And I'm just going to start peening this over cold-ish, just to get it in position. Okay, back in the fire it goes. Okay, so take the round side of your rounding hammer, swap her over, and I'm just striking in the centre of that rivet with the round side of the rounding hammer. Get that to sit down nice and flat, and then I'm just going to turn the hammer around and do what's called a crown, and that's basically where you forge around the outside of the rivet, and then whilst it's still warmish, give it a bit of a wiggle. That's a nice hinge plate, they've worked really well. A bit big, but I can live with big. Okay. So, I've just got my glamorous assistant Alex here, just to put him back. Not too far in, that's it. Okay, thank you. And then if you pop it sideways for me. This is just a bit of 10mm round. Can we go right at the front there, just there? I'm just going to make some flat bits, that's all. Turn her over, let go. That's it. Yep. Lovely, happy with those, cool. Come quite loose quite quickly, so I'm just going to... Bit of a tap, lovely. Okay. Nice, right. So I hope you enjoyed the video. These turned out epic. I really enjoyed making them. They look really good. I reckon they make a better set of scrolling pliers, and the nibs are a bit thin, but to be honest with you, if these are your first pair of tongs, these are going to be really, really good. So I reckon definitely give this a go if you're just starting out. If you've got an angle grinder, definitely have a go using the angle grinder instead of doing a chisel. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you are a subscriber, please ring that bell for notifications. I post videos on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and I also do a live every other Sunday, and hopefully this Sunday we'll be coming live from this workshop, which will be amazing if we can get it done. I'll hopefully be making something live with you guys. Chuck your comments down below, let me know what you thought of these tongs, let me know what you thought I could have done better. I think they came out really lovely, yes, I think that's everything, so thank you for joining me. I will leave a link up here to me making the cut tongs the first time round that didn't quite work. I will leave a link down here to part 1 of the tongs in super detail. This is the Patreon, go and check that out. Great way to support the channel, and down here is the subscribe button. Thank you for joining me. See you later guys, bye bye.